to talk about mask wearing and why it's become so political. There's this controversy about wearing masks to prevent the spread of coronavirus that's mystifying to some, and is probably contributing to the spread of the coronavirus and the new outbreaks. This was crystallized for me when I saw a video of a man who was in line for the Trump rally. And he talked about how he knew the coronavirus was real. And in fact, he had a friend who had died of the coronavirus, and his friend's son was on a ventilator from it. So why wasn't he wearing a mask? He just shrugged and said he wasn't going to wear one. This didn't make any sense to me. I thought if people knew someone who was affected, that would be a motivating factor and they would do actions to prevent the spread, including wearing masks. Further, because this person was conservative, I thought he'd be more concerned about disease spread than a liberal would. So it was a little bit out of character. Obviously, there's something I was missing about masks. So I went to Moral Foundations theory to see if I could find an answer. Here's what I came up with. For those not familiar with Moral Foundations theory, it says that everyone has the same basic moral underpinnings to the choices they make, but that the conflicts arise when there's differences in interpretation and differences in the importance that they place on the various factors. Conservatives, like this gentleman in Tulsa, tend to place relatively even importance on all the factors. In this case, mask wearing, we have conflicts between 4 of the factors: sacredness, purity, care, harm, belonging in community, and respect for authority. I include sacredness, purity because disease violates this foundation. As I said, conservatives are high on this. Care, harm is involved because 2 people he cares about have been affected and 1 died. And not only was it someone he knew, it was someone from his group, which evokes belonging. These would all favor mask wearing. Working against the mask wearing are the ideas that the group he belongs to, Trump supporters for one, don't wear masks. So not wearing a mask is a badge of belonging. For this gentleman, it might also be a signifier of masculinity to not be cowed by the disease. So it's another aspect of belonging to his gender. Further, his leader, the current president, doesn't ever wear a mask, nor does he suggest that anyone else should wear a mask. So for him, it would be violating his respect for authority to wear a mask. That would be almost treasonous for him. Finally, for some people, a different part of sacredness is evoked, that of liberty, that they shouldn't be made to wear a mask. The arrows on the slide show you the different directions that things are pointing, and the colors, if it's transparent, they're weaker, and if they're bright, they're stronger. Now, just to be complete, let's add in the liberal perspective. The top 3 arrows on the left are the same as what I showed for the Trump supporter, but I've colored them blue, and they're not as transparent. For liberals, the strongest factor would be someone dying, whether or not it was someone in their group. So I've made that arrow bigger. The belonging moral foundation is involved because the person is in the group. Sacredness would be involved to a lesser degree than for a conservative. So that's been made partially transparent. But unlike for the Trump supporter, for liberals, the group they belong to do wear masks, and the authorities they trust, scientists and governments, say to wear a mask. So whether you wear a mask has become a political statement. As I've shared these thoughts with people, 2 questions have come up. One is, what should I say to someone who won't wear a mask? That depends on whether the person is liberal or conservative. If they're liberal, you can say that as a group, we've decided to wear masks. That implies that if you want to be part of our group, you wear a mask. If they're conservative, I would then focus on that the masks help keep the disease in check, and COVID-19 is a disgusting disease. Now, that word disgusting is crucial. It's a very powerful word for conservatives. The other question I've gotten is, why do people get so upset? It's just a piece of cloth. Well, I'm going to remind you that these moral foundations are so powerful that people have gone to war. So wearing a mask is tugging at their underlying moral values. So this is just another example. Even though it seems like a small example, its significance is big. If this intrigued you, you can learn more by reading about how moral foundations theory can help untangle the issues of today in my new book, Persuade, Don't Preach. I also offer an introduction to the concepts in a free webinar. Just register at my website, persuadedon'tpreach.com. The book also offers tips on how to work with the theory to help change people's minds, like I've just talked about. So check out my website, persuadedon'tpreach.com, or the Facebook group, persuadeon'tpreach.com and register for the free introductory webinar. I hope to talk to you in a webinar soon. Bye.